Hey heroes, welcome back to another episode of Hosts4Hire. I am your host, Lucas Rand, and this is my co-host, Kyle Cage.
Yo,
Now today we're going to be getting into the conclusion of the Tomorrowverse arc, Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. Now, before we get into all of this craziness, if you guys like our content, please consider dropping a like and a follow. That's at Host4Hire Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, all of it. That's at Host4, the number 4, Hire Podcast. Now, let's just get right into all this absolute craziness. Right off of the bat, Wonder Woman was alive. What the hell's up with that?
yeah, yeah. I mean, she is immortal.
You
Like
said
she
something in the
cannot
last
die.
episode, and I really was against you. I was like, nah, I kind of think she's dead.
She's immortal, and that's really what the answer of whether the wave was a
Mm,
destructive force and or a reality erasing one. And
yep.
clearly, it's a destructive one, and it can't
Yeah.
actually kill her, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it actually was. And also, what a crazy the monitor releasing all that energy and pulling them into the what was it, the bleed?
The
Uh
bleed, yeah. Like, it was that like a failsafe that he had, or like that was a little bit confusing
it
for me a
was.
little
The way
bit.
I took it was more like that was him answering what the Spectre had told him that he had to do. You know, where he says that
Oh,
like it takes like for those who have much, like they have to give much. And I think what he meant is like he has to give all that energy that he's been storing up, all that power. Like he
all
can
that
power
knowledge.
this event, you know?
That's really good. That's
Yeah.
actually good writing. I like that. I like that take on it at
Yeah.
least because
Yeah.
they didn't like really like
And they
show
left a lot up to
more
interpretation a little bit. There was a lot of questions that were
in general.
answered, and then there was a lot of things that were just kind of left for you to kind of mull through on your own.
Yeah, definitely. Again, though, just the same, we ranted and raved a bit about him in the last episodes. The question, I
Oh,
mean, immediately like that is the question.
I love him so much in this. I don't know why. Like he's like one of my by far one of my favorite characters in this 3 episode arc or
I
three
just
movie
love
arc.
he's so obscure,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Also, speaking of
most
being
people
so
don't.
obscure, Dr. Light is 100% a neurodivergent person. Like 100% has the capital
Just
T-tism.
absolutely no filter on that woman.
Yeah,
Like
dude, just
it
Kara's
was
just
so
traumatized, hugging her knees in the corner, and she's like, "Yeah, look at her over there being useless."
Oh, she's over there? Well, maybe she shouldn't be so sad.
That shit was super funny.
Yeah, but
Something
then
else
they
that was
jump right
super
into,
cool.
like
Oh yeah,
sorry,
no,
go
go
on.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say that dinosaur fight was super crazy cool.
That's actually what I was gonna go into as well, like,
Perfect.
because that there were so many like, it was a little weird to me at first,
Yeah,
like, first time seeing it, I was like, "Why are there dinosaurs?"
yeah.
And then it was like, "Whatever, I get to see them fight
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
Justice League versus dinosaurs. I'm here for it.
I'll take it any way they'll give it to me, I
Like
guess."
Aquaman, dude, that was super sick. Where like he was like, "No, Lois, I got this. Please."
Yeah, like, and it really it showed him getting his due,
Mm,
like, cause like, his optimism, because like, when they like, his first thought when dinosaurs came about was like, "Hmm, I should check the water to see if any spawn there that I can talk to."
absolutely. Yeah,
And,
right.
like,
Which is
another really,
super
really
smart. Also,
yeah, and one of a really cool moment that I noticed on the second watch through was that when the dinosaur's coming at him, he's like in ready stance, and then he relaxes, and then Lois throws the trash can. But that
like
relaxing
as the
moment,
yeah,
you can see that he relaxes, like, oh, I just broke through to this creature.
yeah. He's like,
He's fine.
"Oh, I'm good now,"
Yeah, and
which is super
that's very
sweet.
subtle animation, which was super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another like cool moment that was the losers. That's like an
and like
obscure ass. Uh
And I never realized that the movie from 2010 with all those with the, Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Chris Evans and Zoe Saldana and
crazy.
three people who ended up being in the MCU, which is crazy. Not Jeffrey Dean, but Chris Evans, Zoe
Yeah.
Saldana, and the last one. I just anyway. The super obscure characters that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like at first, you were like, "Who was that?" Like, and then
I
we
thought
had
it
to
was the
look it up.
creature commandos at first when they like pulled through, and then when he's like, "We're just losers, ma'am."
Yeah, it's like, well, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Super obscure, but I do like it,
Another
when
bit
they
that was cool was the whole Legion of Doom bit within like
yeah,
Lexus
that
Earth
was
10.
awesome.
Seems like the
I mean,
Legion
there
of
were a
Doom
few
won in that world. Like they're the
yeah,
supreme like
Well,
rulers
that
of their world.
Lex specifically is the
Yeah,
supreme leader,
yeah,
as Ivan calls him.
yeah. That was pretty cool.
I
Uh,
do think it was a little weird, like when they never like show anything about how or when they subdue Psycho Pirate. Like he not like imbued with powers from
this is a bit that actually kind of upset me a
Monitor?
little bit. Not gonna lie, this was a downside for me because yeah, my understanding is that he has the equivalent of being kind of like the Herald of Galactus for like Marvel's like equivalent. So like he
Hmm.
has been amplified to like a crazy level.
Just like Kara. Like it
Yeah,
shows that
right.
Kara as Harbinger is like super
Hmm.
powerful.
Uh, I'm confused of. I wish I would have been able to see how Lex got past that, rather than just like left to assume that like he's so superior that he just did.
Yeah, and the members of the Council of or the Legion of Doom rather.
Yeah, that was weird as
They
hell,
they
dude. It was
just like they were all Batman villains.
what
Did you
was up
notice?
with
Like
that?
they were
Yeah,
all Batman
it
villains.
was like
Like
it was like
there are so many, and for like a brain trust that Lex would have wanted to put together. Like
right.
why was Solomon Grundy there?
I guess
What
because
the
like maybe
hell?
he could just be like told what to do, but like why was Joker there? And then like Two Face, like
Yeah,
it was
like
just all
chaos
of them.
and
It was like
people who just go by the whim of luck.
yeah, it was very odd. I felt like it was a cool opportunity to show characters like the Brain or like Gorilla Grodd, like Black Manta.
Brain would have been a great one. That's also a very obscure character.
Yeah,
That would have been a cool cameo to see. Yeah, Gorilla Grodd, Cheetah, even like
yeah,
Black Manta,
yep.
Sinestro. They could have
Ooh,
had one from
Sinestro.
like
Yeah, that would have been cool.
like a bunch of different. They could have one for each of the characters.
Yeah,
Or at least a
and I,
little more variety than Lex and Batman's rogues
yeah, that was really kind of weird.
gallery.
However, it
Yeah,
was really cool to see the Bat family kick Nazi ass with all the rogues equipment, like how they had like the Bane and like the like penguin like
the
umbrella and shit.
umbrella.
That was actually
Yeah,
really cool.
they had Harley's hammer.
Hmm. Hmm.
That was yeah.
Yeah, that was
I don't
awesome.
know. There were a lot of really cool moments and a lot of really like there were a lot of peaks and valleys
Yeah,
with the
I
especially
would
with the
agree.
story
Hmm.
in this whole thing for me.
One of the
But
peaks.
one of the peaks of it I think was personally when Batman says from my nail growth
Oh,
when he says I estimate it's been about 8 days and
like
it's been
what?
like 10, so it's close. Like and that's again another thing where it's like this Batman's good, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, like it's really cool
Like
that
he
he's
knew it
able to
was
like touch his
8 days.
nail and be like 8 days. That's like a crazy ass thing to be
Yeah,
able to do. But
yeah,
the fact
but
that he was
my
so
point is
susceptible to that fear toxin,
mhm,
that's
mhm,
what was not so
and
cool. Like,
and, like, the first arc Batman would have known it was exactly 10 days is what I was getting at, you know what I mean? Like
for sure. And also, well, like more importantly, he would have had a cure to the fear toxin on him.
mhm,
You know what I mean? Like in his
yeah,
belt, like he has
that
a
felt a little bit
solution
like
for everyone in his rogue gallery. You know?
well, and what's weird is the Bat family also didn't have any
That's true. It
cures,
was
like,
just like a
they
weird
had
thing.
to
Yeah.
get trans
Yeah. But like,
yeah,
hey, like we said, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. It went like,
yeah.
like
I mean, it was cool to see him kick Nazi ass, I agree.
yeah, yeah, that was really cool. Another moment actually after he wakes up from that like scarecrow coma of his, and he goes and tells everybody that he had this like crazy vision with Barry. Um, everyone's eyes like go wide. He's like Barry, and they're like, "Oh shit, Barry!" And they're like get like all this like a surprised expression on their faces, except for Dick,
Mhm.
whose eyes narrow in like in that like Batman classic squint, and he immediately starts grilling Bruce, like questioning him, like being the detective. And I was like, "Oh my god, he's so much like Bruce." I love that little bit of
His
writing
training
there.
takes over.
Yeah,
His
like
training.
I really like that he was the only one. Like all their eyes went surprised, and his just went inquisitive. And he was like, "Hmm, that
Yeah,
was
like,
dope."
all right, we're gonna get to the bottom of
Yeah.
this because that doesn't sound right to
Right.
me.
That was like really cool.
Yeah. But then Aquaman, that was so sad, but also
Oh,
like that was such a good choice to
yeah.
have him go and be like, I'm going to die with my family, and it's
You
my
accused
world.
me last episode that I like need that like action scene. And during this scene, like what I wanted, because when he says he's like, send me home, I was like, oh shit, he's got like determination in his voice. I thought he was gonna go in with like a crazy, like last like rah. And that's like what I wanted to see. And then the second time when
Of
we
course
watched
he
it
did.
through, I was like, man, it's actually really cool that like he all he wanted to do is just look at his kid. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
take his eyes
he
off
just
his
wanted to
son the
look at
whole
his
time.
wife and
Yep.
chat.
Just
Yeah,
like he just like locks eyes with baby and just dies that way. I was like, okay, that's actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah. I just realized, does that mean that there won't be an Aquaman?
I don't know how that exactly works, because like it didn't seem like only the ones that passed through just there in that moment were the ones going through. Because he said that like
Yeah, that's
they would
it's
be
kind of
joined with
writing.
all the other versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
speaking
I
of,
don't, yeah.
oh boy, it's at right about this point of the movie where they
Both of us
reveal,
realized. Well, he was. It's a little bit before they fully reveal it, but it was the moment that both of us realized it
yeah,
because they say it one more time that Constantine
it's from before the beginning, and I think they say it
is
twice in like
before the
quick
beginning.
succession, and that is
Yeah,
really
that
what
he's
hit it
older
home.
than the multiverse, and yeah, but like it was at this point that both of us were like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Is no, dude. It like we were talking about. It's not often, you guys. You'll come to know that I get surprised by things so much. Like I can usually pick up things in films pretty well. But both of us, like we usually can pick up on it, talk
Between the
about
two
it,
of
and
us,
yeah.
yeah, usually.
Uh, to have this come as such s- the rug was truly swept from underneath me. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe that this was just a continuation of the DCAMU. How
yeah,
please in the
that it
comments
was the
let us
second
know what
story.
you guys thought of that. Like, what was your moment? Because I got like full body chills when that was revealed.
It's just such a good writing, like the way that it was like a Shyamalan twist
Dude.
type shit.
And it
Like
was
I
right in
swear
our
to God,
faces the whole time. Like Matt Ryan, or is it Matt Ryan that voice?
yeah,
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
name. I'm terrible with that.
yeah.
Him still being the voice of Constantine, like that was such a subtle little like clue that it was him the
Well,
whole
there
time.
were other clues throughout, like Will Friedle voicing Batman Beyond, voicing
Hmm.
Terry
Yep.
because he voiced it in the original,
Yep.
because that's
All
and then
the
it's like
original
that.
voices were voicing their original characters, and that was just like such a subtle little clue that Constantine was from the DCAMU universe. But God,
Mhm.
such
Did I not
wow.
see that Darkseid being a pivotal
Oh yeah.
point, like
Also,
an
what a
immutable
brutal
point?
thing that Constantine did to Barry to make him this like walking death.
Yeah, what was he? What did he do after that
Yeah.
besides just like kill everyone around him?
Yeah, it actually really brings the question to me of like what happened to that Barry? Did he die
Like
along
where
with
did
the rest of all of his universe that day, and only Constantine was spared, or was he like plucked out by the Speed Force somehow, and we're gonna see him again? Something I don't know.
maybe as the Black Flash? That'd be
Oh,
cool.
can you? Oh, dude, that would be
That'd be
so sick
that'd be
if
dope.
he's like walking death. Oh, Kyle, bruh, that would be so
Come on,
cool. Oh my god,
that's yeah,
letters.
that's
That's a letter, please.
a letter. Yeah, that's a letter to the editor.
Hot dog. That would be so cool. Also, another really cool moment is when the helmet of Naboo grows cold, just at the mention of Constantine's name.
Yeah, he
That
says
was
his
like
name, and
that
it's
was like
like,
a
I
moment where
don't
I
know
like
who
was
this
like,
guy is.
why is Constantine so important? Because I hadn't gotten the reveal yet at that point. And I was like, the helmet of Naboo is like growing was like shivering at the mention of Constantine. I was like, what is making him so crazy important in this? And it's that he's the pariah in this version of the crisis.
Yeah,
And
like he's the
that's
one that causes it to happen.
absolutely awesome.
It's his fault. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I do wonder too, like, did the monitor not exist? Like, did any of the anime, because in
Yeah,
like
seemingly not. Seemingly like, like the pillar that dark side was kind of like I don't know. Yeah,
but like does this mean that like the first arc of the DCAMU is the canonical origin of every animated anything we've ever seen, because
dude.
the multiverse didn't exist, the DCAMU happens, the multiverse is created, and they go back with the mirror. Like later on, they go back and show all the way back to Super Friends, to the 1972 Super Friends,
Oh
to the
man, that
very
means like
first
yeah, cuz like Justice League
thing.
Unlimited, like Teen Titans, all those universes. Oh, it hurt me so bad, dude, to see them go.
Yeah,
Oh,
but that means that the DCAMU first arc is the true
the
origin
true
point of
origin story of everything we watched as a kid, DC related.
our whole childhood DC. Yeah, or
Dude, that
the whole.
gives me chills right now, like right at my arms. Like it's just so crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's what I love
Yeah,
about comic books and superhero stuff is that I'm a 30-year-old man, and that gives me just like childlike pleasure and like giddiness and
It's such
appreciation.
good,
It's
it's
so
such good writing too.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
it makes it all make sense.
yeah. Like that is really really cool. I did think
One of
that it
my
was kind of cool that they were like, kill old Hitler as a baby trick, eh? This is gonna work.
yeah, like what? Like wait a minute,
They're
like
like,
it's
Constantine, you're gonna
yeah,
break the universe if you do this. He's like, nah.
nah, we'll deal with the consequences. It's better than Darkseid destroying everything on
That's
Earth.
kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
like
Like that,
hang
his
on.
choice shattered the universe into an infinite multiverse.
Yeah, like it literally broke the continuity into a multiverse. That's how important Darkseid is.
Yeah, and that's also
Which
how
I
like
mean, like
powerful and impactful Constantine can be. We talked last episode how I love the Constantine character so much, and God, he's done so well in like the whole DC AMU and now this Tomorrowverse arc. God, like the DC animation has propelled Constantine as a character so much, in my opinion. Matt Ryan, dude, hats off. He took that character and really showed.
mhm, what can be
Yeah,
done with it.
yeah, dude.
And the writing as well, like like
Yes,
the combination of
yes,
the writing
for
of
sure.
like Justice League Dark
Hmm.
from the first arc, like where
Dude,
you know
what's
at the
crazy is that
beginning.
Matt Ryan was the Constantine in in the CW verse, bro, and he was like one of the like absolute golden gems of that world.
Yeah, it's the only real. It's really the only thing that came out of it
It
that
was
was like
fantastic. Like I loved Stephen Amell as Oliver, but
flat.
like but him as
But
Constantine, man, God,
yeah, no, that'll last. That's what I mean. But
straight up.
it'll last for the rest of forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
Dude,
right?
another piece that I thought was super hilarious. One, I really liked the Lex Luthor in this world. Uh, I really liked that he was just like, yeah, of course I contacted the Anti Monitor. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking kill this guy, and you guys are all
Yeah, like
pussyfooting around, and we're like in crunch time, motherfuckers. Like we gotta like
we
results
got to
is
do
what we need.
something. Yeah, we have to try
Yeah,
something that we haven't tried
which
before.
I really
You
like. And
know,
the other piece is that he only respects Mister Terrific. And in anything he does, he's like, Michael,
check my work.
check my work. Dude, it's great. He literally dismisses everyone's opinion, and then when he says something, he's like, "Michael, yep,
Yeah, and one of my other favorite things is Mr. Terrific's always like, yeah,
yeah,
you're
he's
not
not
wrong. The
wrong. Fuck."
numbers.
It's kind of like that, like Winter Soldier thing, where he's like, "You're out of line," but like, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god! And then when uh Martian Manhunter comes
Oh,
in and with
dude,
War World, that
that was
was
such a
dope, man.
surprise to
I
me, dude.
was yeah, it was like holy shit, he's
John,
there.
the motherfucking Jones, dude. He came in, and not only did he just like come in, he came in and guided Psycho Pete through that crazy, incredible feat of contacting and influencing everyone to feel the same emotion. And then he went and guided Nightshade through teleporting that miracle machine.
Oh yeah, then later on in the Miracle Machine, yeah, where like she's like, I can't do it, and then he's like, you just did.
Oh, what a
Like,
cool moment, dude.
it also shows that like he can like almost maximize some people's powers, like to the
He
point where like
did one of the
he like
craziest feats that I know that Martian Manhunter has ever done. After Psycho Pirate connects all of the world in one or all the multiverse in one emotion, he connects all the multiverse to the war world without like being enhanced by the monitor or anything. That's like crazy.
yeah.
To every being in the multiverse.
I'm sorry, Lucas. I have to go back. You just said Psycho Pete before.
Oh, if you guys don't know, It's Always Sunny is
If you
a
know that reference, you're instantly our
you're
favorite
our favorite
fans.
player. Yes,
Okay,
because
sorry.
It's Always Sunny
Yes.
is within our brains and in our minds, and Psycho Pete is a character in that show, and Psycho Pirate is what I meant to say.
All right. Anyway, yes, I
Fantastic.
agree. That is one of the best Martian Manhunter feats that I've ever seen. That was super dope.
Yeah, actually though, yeah, really really cool.
But yeah, just the combination of the two of them really for me, like the like allegorically, like the Psycho Pirate's emotional spectrum, like he needs to connect them emotionally,
Yeah.
and then Martian Manhunter can connect them mentally to
Hmm.
the the War World through Psycho
Yeah,
Pirate. Like he
really
again, like
cool.
just knowing how to maximize everyone's
Yeah, because Psycho Pirate's
potential.
like, you do it. Like I don't want to. You do it. And he's like, like I can't. Like this is your purpose. This is your role. Like I have my role,
Mhm.
which is really really cool.
Yeah. How did you feel about how did you guys feel about Anti-Monitor being like essentially the antibody of the universe? Like I enjoyed it, but I also thought it was kind of like a cop out to the original
Yeah.
story, like
Here's how
to
I
make them not really
here's how I felt
matter.
about it. I liked it a lot in concept. I liked that it was like the universe retaliating against Constantine's choice. That wasn't how it was supposed to be. So it was like naturally trying to defend itself. I thought that was cool. Really cool, actually.
Hmm.
What I didn't like about it was how they showed that hand only after Kara had exploded herself. It kind of made that sacrifice of hers feel super flat, you know? I don't know if you guys agree. If you guys disagree, please tell me how you feel about it. I just kind of felt like uh bringing in like an infinite, like especially saying it's an antibody. That's not how antibodies work, is it? Like, oh, a white blood cell doesn't
I
just
mean,
go
like
in
yeah,
one v one against your disease, and then when it dies, they're like, okay, send the army.
I'm not a biologist, so I don't know how it works. But on the other side, it could be that like the which would make sense too is that the body or the universe would want to expend as little energy as possible taking care of this one problem, so
That's a
it
good
can
point,
focus
actually.
on other things.
Yeah, and then they're like,
Maybe
okay, these fuckers are actually strong.
yeah, like okay, they took one out. All right, then we're just gonna eliminate this immediately. We're done with this now. This is
Yeah.
no longer a game. We're done.
Okay. I guess I didn't really think about it like that. In that concept, I kind of like it. Uh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, but again, it goes back to what we were saying about they leave so much up for our own
yeah,
interpretation of
absolutely.
this.
Yeah,
There's
I
so
like
many
that.
different plot points and things that like you can kind of, which is it's cool in some ways, but it
It is.
also like it's lacking in
Yeah,
others.
I agree. I do like that though, and I do like it conceptually that like it was like the
Yeah, you
protection of
brought
the
up
universe.
that Razor was the Blue Lantern
Yeah.
when John gets his powers back, which
hmm
was really cool.
He's one of my favorite
Um,
characters in all of DC. He's like extremely powerful. He's from at least I know him from the old like Green Lantern TV show and the animated world. And in that
mhm.
one, he becomes both the blue and the red lantern as one, and it's super
Yeah,
awesome. Which is also why I think he was able to hold that Green Lantern ring while being blue. Like I think he has the power to wield multiple rings at the same time. I haven't really delved so hard into like any of the comics there. I might have to because I don't know a lot. But if you guys do, please educate me
yeah.
on Razor and his
Yeah,
badassery.
please, because I didn't know about this guy at all. Like you
Yeah,
were the one who was like, "Hey, did you recognize Razor?" And I was like, "Who?"
yeah, yeah. I was really hoping that he was gonna do the whole like blue red thing. Uh,
Mhm.
it happens at a moment in Young Justice as well, where he comes in and does the whole half blue, half red, which is really really cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see,
Yeah,
but they only so much time they had to fit into an
yeah,
hour
for
and
sure.
40 minutes. It's good they did a crazy job as it was.
Yeah, this was
But
a lot. Like for being a 3 arc, like I even kind of felt like they kind of pigeonholed themselves a little bit by trying to make a trilogy. Like I feel like with what they were trying to get across, they could have done it in more even
we
or
could have done it in
longer
six
movies,
parts easy.
or at least longer trilogy movies.
Yeah, like 2.5 each.
Yeah, because there was a lot to unpack in each of this.
And because of it, they had to utilize like some convenient plot points. We've talked about a
Yeah,
couple already. Like the Miracle Machine itself is a really convenient plot point.
yeah.
You know?
That was one I had to look up. I had never really heard of the Miracle Machine. That was
Yeah, me
one where,
neither.
yeah. I did
Uh,
like though how it was a really convenient plot point, but John says like I feel, he says like I don't know what it was made for, but it feels like it was made for this very situation, for this
and
very crisis.
someone else at some point says it's also older than the multiverse. That
Mm,
machine was created at the dawn or before the dawn of the multiverse. Like
very
almost like the
interesting.
presence created it knowing that it was going to be needed for
That's
this.
very interesting, actually. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I
Because no
like
one
him. Dude,
yeah.
John is like a real fucking badass in this. It did
Oh
feel
yeah.
to me like one of my like kind of plot point gripe issues was like he kind of just came in, and uh
It's kind of sudden.
yeah, it was kind of well, he kind of just like knew everything as well. So like maybe he like read everyone's minds and just kind of like
Yeah,
caught
because like he
himself up
wasn't
real quick.
Lex's mind,
Yeah,
which would have had all the information.
yeah.
But
But he did just kind of
still,
like come up, knew what was happening, like helped, like he was a
yeah.
pivotal character in their victory.
knew where they were, when they
Yeah,
were gonna appear back, why they
yeah,
were gonna appear back. Like it was just weird.
yeah. It was. But man, oh, can we all give
Yeah,
a little moment of silence to Kevin Conroy? All right.
if it
Rest in
has
peace,
to
man.
end, at least I get to go out like this, being Batman.
Oh, dude.
It seriously chokes me up
Oh,
every
dude.
time.
That
Like
brought me to actual tears. Like
I was
I
crying.
watched that man's Batman. I can't even say hundreds of times because like I've watched those
He's
episodes over the
all of our
years.
Batman. Like if you when people hear Batman's voice in their head,
It's him.
especially from our generation, it's him.
Yeah.
It's him.
Like there's been so many live action Batmans. And we've talked about this before, I think. But he is the actual Batman. Like when you think
And
of like
the
who's
fact that it was
Batman in
him
our
and Mark
world, it's Kevin.
Hamill, like,
Oh yeah, dude. Actually, I love that where he's like Batsy, like I didn't know you cared.
ah,
I
it's
really
so
like that
that was like the most emotional.
for sure.
There's
It
very
definitely
few
brought me
movies,
to tears.
animated movies that bring me to tears and like
Same.
moments in
Yeah,
animated movies. And like
same.
Spider Verse has some,
Mm,
and then like this was like one of the top ones.
yeah,
I was crying. I was
yeah.
tearing.
No, absolutely.
Like,
That I definitely was. I was like full.
and
Like
it compounded when they like showed like all the other animated
I
universe,
know,
like,
dude. That
being
was
destroyed,
so
like Teen
sad.
Titans, JLA Unlimited, Super Friends,
Ugh.
even like
The
even though I never
JLA
watched that one,
Unlimited
that was
got
so
me. That
surprising.
one
Yeah.
got me more. That was like I was like, nah. Oh, also the Titans one was Earth 2003. I thought that was
Oh,
kind of cool.
great! Yeah, the year it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
what a great little Easter egg.
Yeah. Also, one of the coolest moments in the movie, in my opinion, is when they're all trying to walk through and the questions turn is up, and he's like, "This is a false history, a false reality. I reject it on principle," and turns the other way, man, and walks to
He's just
like,
like, "Oh, I'm just not gonna exist
dude,
anymore."
you know what? The aura, bruh. You
As
you want to know
the kids
aura,
say.
dude? That's for some fucking amazing, dude. The dude just drops bars for 3 whole movies, and then is just like, boom, I'm out.
Yeah, it's just like, "Alright, I'm gonna no longer exist." Like, which like
Fuck
that's
all
what
you.
it got
That's
me
what he
thinking.
says.
Like, it literally got me thinking. Like, does he not exist
Yeah,
anymore?
I'm
Like
very curious,
going
man. Or
forward,
like,
because like
is he gonna be with Constantine and the Spectre there? Like, did they just die after that, or like, did they get like taken along with Spectre in that like weird
and
little
it's like,
moment?
is this now like with that with the everyone going into this monoverse? You
Mm,
know,
mm.
like does that mean that everyone that are they building into like the DCU, James Gunn's DCU, or are they
Oh
building
man,
into like its own new animated thing that
you and I
has
have.
every single animated universe are no longer existing simultaneously? It's all canonically one
If this
monoverse.
was their path as DC to like pivot to James Gunn's universe and using this like arc to like do that monoverse thing, like you said, and if this monoverse is James Gunn's universe, that is the most brilliant pivot in anything ever. Like I have
Genius,
everybody knows
absolutely
that knows me
genius
that I
level.
am a DC. I love DC way more than I like Marvel characters wise. But the movies and everything, DC has been lacking like so hard. Like the Snyderverse was atrocious.
Barring the DC AMU,
Yeah,
and
right. Barring the DC AMU. If they
which
were
we've
able
said
to pull that off to switch over to James Gunn's universe, dude, that's better than anything Marvel's ever done. And man,
oh
I
yeah,
love the MCU with everything in my
they
soul.
set themselves up for it perfectly, like
It's
absolutely perfectly.
that'd be incredible.
Yeah, I mean there
However,
were
I
like
do think it's
again there
also
were a few
possible
more.
that they're building to like a third arc. You know, like the DC AMU as we knew it was now like the like new 52 arc. And
Mhm,
then now this was the Tomorrowverse arc, and then potentially they're building to a third arc, like a culmination of all of it, you
yeah.
know,
Which way
which
do
would
you
also
think
be
they're?
cool.
Which way do you guys think they're going with it though? Like, do
Yeah,
you
and
think
what
it's
would you
going to
prefer?
be the monoverse, like it's an arc 3, or the DCU? Yeah, what are you trying to see going forward? Let us know.
Yeah.
But there were a few other things that were like, I don't know, a little bit like why that like one of my biggest gripes, and you were ranting and raving about it, was why did the toxin make Batman see
Yeah, that is
a
my
meta?
biggest
That
bit
there's
of
never been
quote
anything
unquote spilled
canonically.
milk that we're gonna be
Why?
crying over here for a bit. If you guys can answer that, If my understanding of Scarecrow's fear toxin is that it doesn't show you pure memories
It
like that.
makes you hallucinate.
Yeah, it makes you
It's
hallucinate,
quite literally
and if
just
it does pull from your memories, it's distorted versions of those memories,
very
or
distorted, way more than
horribly
we saw.
distorted.
Yeah,
Right.
more than just a shady red background and him switching from barbarian to normal Batman. Like,
Yeah.
because that was quite literally the only like hallucination aspect of
Yeah, that was really weird to me. That like kind of like took me off. I was like, "Whoa, that's what? Why did that make him see this like vision?" So if you guys have an answer for that, that would be really
Let
great.
us know. Like, if there's something that you guys know that we don't, because that really, like you said, it took me out of it. It was
Yeah.
kind of like, why is he seeing this now?
Hmm.
Like, maybe, like my one thought maybe later on was like maybe it was actually he was seeing it in the coma for the 8-day coma he was in,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like or 10-day coma or whatever. But they didn't. They
Again,
made
left
it
it
seem
up
like
for
it
just our
was
interpretation, and my
again
interpretation there wasn't
another
so good.
thing. Yeah, exactly. Like another thing where they leave it up to your interpretation. But there were a lot of really cool characters that were in it too. Like, I don't know, but there were also like a few that I wish we could have seen.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
the
there,
Teen
dude, there were
Titans.
so many characters, but also there was
Like,
also so many that were missing. Like you just said, most of the Teen Titans, other than Dick, weren't there.
yeah, they would have been cool to see all of those. It would have been really cool to see like
Especially
Static.
because two of
Static
them,
Shock.
Cyborg and Raven, are extraordinarily powerful. They're doing like a crazy feat thing, and Cyborg's one of the smartest minds. He's a literal quantum computer.
Exactly. Like
And
what
Raven
do we
is one
do?
of the crazy strongest characters in all of DC. Like that
It's like
feat
it's
where the Green
possibly
Lanterns all block the Earth with like their like combined power and they like make a shield. I genuinely feel like Raven could almost do that on her own. She's that
it would
crazy
have been,
powerful.
you know, it would have been super cool. Oh, now I'm thinking about it. If the lanterns are all there and they're all blocking it, and it starts to break, and she comes around
With that
with a
black
big
energy.
ass black energy shield that just envelops the Green
Dude,
Lanterns
that would be so
construct
sick, dude. Like
and be
infuses with their energy.
yeah, and like hardens them. That would have been cool as shit
Ah,
to see. Little
dude,
things
that
like
would
that.
have been such a
Letters, man.
crazy good
Yeah,
idea,
we gotta
bro.
send letters to people. Who do we write letters to? Tell us,
Please
people.
tell us
Please
because we
tell
got
us. How do we
ideas.
get these ideas to them?
Another one that I thought would be kind of cool was to have seen Slade Wilson. He's another guy that should have been on the Legion of Doom. You know why? Like Slade could have been a
Yeah,
really good, cool character there. Then he could have
or
had
even
to
like
like,
as a hero, because you know, like he's more like I can't, do my thing if everything's dead
yeah,
as
right.
well. Like
But yeah, it would have been cool to see him like be a begrudging like member of that Bat family team. You know, where he kind of has to
yeah,
work with them, work with all the bats that he's been like living his life to take down. I think that would have been a cool thing to see as well.
that'd have been awesome. Yeah,
What an
but
absolute ride, you guys. I mean, regardless of how we felt about the story, the confusion, everything that was going on, the plot holes, and some of the like things that you had to figure out on your own, this was, I think we all got to agree that this was like quite an epic journey that they took us on.
yeah,
Like, uh,
definitely.
from,
And if you weren't surprised by any of this, you're lying. All right,
dude,
I
or like
firmly
you are
believe
on a crazy level, man.
I want you to let us know in detail
How you
exactly
did
how
that.
you
Yeah.
figured how you
How
knew.
you, how you did that.
Yeah, please, please.
I thought I was locked in. I was like, I'm locked in on this. I saw all the Tomorrowverse movies like multiple times, like throughout the years. I'm like, yeah, I know what's going on.
We've seen the DCAMU movies how many
Oh,
dozens? Like we've
yeah,
seen
so
them
many
and watched
times.
so many times. Like
But man, as always, you guys, thank you so much. If you've made it this far, we appreciate it so much.
yeah, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, at Hosts for Hire podcast on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, and Hosts for Hire pod on Twitter. As always, if there's anything you disagreed with, anything that you thought we were saying that was complete bullshit, let us know in the comments. If you agreed with something, let us know as well. We just want to get, as much engagement with you guys as possible. We want to get that conversation started.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, we like to be told that we're wrong. We like to be told that we have the wrong perspective so that we can tell you that we're right and that we have the right perspective.
And we can maybe come together and come up with a new perspective for
Oh,
all of us
wouldn't that be
and
just a
find the
gem?
truth.
Absolutely.
Imagine compromise in today's world. That's
Oof, man.
what
So
an
we hope
ask.
to talk to you. Please talk to us, and we will see you guys on the next episode.